Hello and welcome back to an episode of StarCraft 2 co-op mode. Uh, Sorry about the humongous delay. I've been in college, and this is actually Thanksgiving break for me. So today I'm actually going to start a video coming back for Thanksgiving break. So during the time that I was gone, the only game that has really had an update I've been actually working on is actually this, and there's actually two new items in the co-op mode. First and foremost, I'm actually going to explain this more, but first, there's a new map that came out. Mobius Core Research has been experimenting on hybrid as they attempt to create even more devastating horrors. Help General Davis put an end to this by using Mobius Co's own unfinished mech, the Balius, to kill the hybrid. And it came with a new hero, Han and Horner. So you get Mira Han and Matt Horner on one humongous group. Now, the interesting part about this is they both have different playstyles. In the fact of the matter that you get two different structures to two different types of units. So I'm actually going to go ahead and go over her units first, then Matt's units, plus structure. So her first unit is actually the Reapers. Early on, they're not extremely useful to take out multiple types. But they do have what I call the old-fashioned Reaper style of fire, which they actually shoot out grenades to harm structures. Widow Mines are more of suicide bombers when they explode. Hellbats are more of, they're not just going to create fire, they're actually going to toss even more to burn them. She gets Assault Galleons, which are pretty much battle cruisers, except they spawn units, and they're not extremely good at taking out air. And Missile Launcher, which I don't really use that often. I should probably use them more often, but I don't. Now for Matt Horner's units. He has the Astral Wraiths, which are mostly, they gain permanent stealth, and they, I think, gain more fire. The most Vikings, which are more support units, switching back and forth, and they actually do gain, I think, splash damage on their rockets. He also gains a Sylvian battle cruiser, which can teleport, and I think that's it so far. Train Wraith. This one is actually extremely useful if you have to get into a humongous push-by-push attack push, which I don't use this often unless there's cloak units that I need to detect. And finally, the Strike Fighter platform. It's stationary, but it is a very short cooldown, and they do a good chunk of damage. 10 of these could take out pretty much a hybrid's health, take out its shields and a bit of their health. And even with Thrashers, if I remember correctly, they could almost kill them just using all 10 of those. Now for the upgrades, what I have so far is originally the Horners. They are both counted as it. Horner doesn't want to go like that. When flying units are killed, they drop resources. For the commanders who of those units, Matt Horner starts with a starport that can train elite aircraft. Then you get the Strike Fighters, which are the platforms pretty much, and its ability. The Assault Galleon and the drone upgrade, which mostly makes it that you can build a hangar bay onto your galleons, which are really good in the late games. They're just extremely hard to get out in the early game, but it's pretty good. and allows also the Ravens to do multiple analyzing weakness. Merc upgrades. This actually will help you out with more of the Reapers and the Widow Mines. Call in the fleet, which is extremely good on maps that have mobile objectives. And this allows mirror units to build and research. Allows her units to build and research faster. That's mostly it. I haven't really play them often. I just got really lucky with my bonus objectives, except on this map. So I'm gonna go ahead and ready up. I have to do some downloading since I haven't been on my main computer for a while. I'm bad on it. So anyway, the main problem I have with these are they don't have good defenses. The only thing that they extremely have that are extremely good is they have mines, which is bad. I'm not gonna lie, it's bad. And we also get Nova. This is gonna be a pain in the butt. But I do need to actually quicken up because the bonus objective for this map is extremely early, and it's a pain in the butt to get to and kill. Literally, the bonus objective for this is extremely hard to 1 kill, and 2, the time frame you're able to do it is very, very limited. But I have not lost on this map for the original objective at all. Close to doing it a few times, but I had pretty good allies, and this is on hard pretty much. So the biggest thing is most of the units that you will be creating in the beginning game, middle, and end would be more mirror haunts. Mostly because of the fact of the matter, they are the basic cheap units. If you want mat units, they're more durable, they're harder to attack, they're just extremely expensive. And if you want to spawn multiple of them, for example, if you want a whole bunch of raids, I literally had 2 bases and I could barely get out the stacks before they're literally just, nope, you don't get it anymore. You're low on minerals, pretty much. And a little bit rusty, but I'm going to give it my best shot. So these are pretty much her structures. And this is the starport.
Corps once had ties to our own Emperor Valerian Mengsk. Now they're raising hybrid to kill everyone in the Dominion. I found a mech here, the Valius, that can destroy the hybrid. But first it needs parts. It's in your best interest to help me.
Which is a best thing to do since Valius does have a health limit, it just takes it extremely. So Nova should be able to help with her deployable basic units. But
you forgot to build the depots again, didn't you?
No, I did. Total biscuit.
But
My liege, the coffers lack minerals.
This is a unique setup, and
Where are the minerals? I was told there would be minerals.
yeah, because none of these are the same. And I would take out these parts if it wasn't for the fact of the matter, I don't have the resources to do that.
Yep. Bad news.
There we go.
SCV ready.
So the first thing is the one thing is you can't get these automatically. You still need to get the research and all that kind of stuff. So I don't suggest getting a whole bunch of ravens, not unless you have cloak units you have to deal with. And even with that, you just get one. So the first thing I should probably build up is a assault galleon
SCV ready.
and start taken on at least some of the units.
I
So,
don't take orders from the likes of you.
wow.
SCV ready.
Did you want something? We must fight for something greater than ourselves.
That is interesting.
SCV ready.
So I should probably go ahead and get this over here.
Overtime.
So
SCV ready.
I think after this should be fine. But I do need to build up at least a couple of supply depots.
Farm my biscuit.
I hear you needed a mercy.
Additional supply depots required.
Don't get in my way. You've never seen weapons like this.
So I do not actually want to deploy units, I'm just...
Hostile sighted inbound on our base.
So I do need to actually deploy my mines. The mines are extremely, and I will definitely say this, if you set up the mines correctly and you're able to stop them, yeah.
SCV ready.
How suggestive.
So I'm actually going to go ahead and move over here, because my thing is able to float over and I don't need to dig through that. Oh, there's a Zerg. Oh, there's a spore.
My
frickin'
scanners are
crawling.
showing enemy Zerg in the region.
Our allies look like they could use a hand.
So I'm going to go...
Don't take all day. If these creatures don't perish, we will.
Was your base burning to the ground part of the plan?
Just for fun. I like the sound of that. Almost
So,
there.
yeah, this is quite dangerous.
How suggestive.
So I actually will begin actually deploying some of my units. Yep. Ooh, this is actually really bad. I actually do need to build this
Your
over
ally is
here.
being attacked.
So, the one thing is,
Your allies are having all the
those
fun
parts
over
are not easy to acquire.
The Grim Reaper has arrived. Fear the Reaper Man.
there. Upgrade complete. Our allies are getting into trouble again.
I can commit to that.
The Grim
We have half of the Ballius parts now.
The Grim Reaper has arrived.
Leave the business to me.
The Grim Reaper has
Enemies on the offensive. Prepare to defend.
I'll try any.
The Grim Reaper.
As I said before, you gotta get extremely lucky.
The Grim Reaper has arrived.
Luckily enough,
Your
Nova's
ally is being
actually
attacked.
doing what I can't really do right now. But at least the research for weapons.
Upgrade's
I have new intel. Mobius Corps is attempting to evacuate key research material while we're distracted with the hybrid. Find their train and destroy it. That's an order. Ballius construction has nearly concluded. A small number of pods remain.
Allies base needs help. Your army is getting... Your allies are having all the fun over there. Our allies are getting into trouble again.
The pressure's on. We have just a few moments left to kill this hybrid bastard.
And I'm going to try
Your ally
to
is being
stay
attacked.
with my units itself. I will try to build more assault galleons. I just can't guarantee it.
The Grim Reaper.
I like
All right.
the sound of that.
Thank you, Nova.
Almost there.
And
The Grim Reaper has
The only reason why I'm mostly doing this is because it's Vetimer.
Your allies are having all
I'm
the
better
fun.
off.
This damn alien is about to murder us all. Get moving!
We only need 5 more. There.
The train will not wait for you to strike it, Commander. Well, would you look at that? We have enough pods for launch. I'm making the final preparations for the Valius's deployment. Expect to see me out there soon.
And the only reason why I mostly have that is mostly... Come on, I'm almost there. Come on. There we go.
Excellent. The train is wrecked, and Mobius will never
There
get
we
what
go.
was on it.
Look like they could use a hat.
Nope.
Enemies are heading
Now the
for
only
us.
reason why I'm
Don't let 'em
mostly
catch you
building a
off
whole
guard.
bunch of Reapers because of Vetimer. They are cheap, but they're also extremely good.
The Grim Reaper
With the upgrade that I just got for them,
Ready for
that
action.
is...
I'm approaching the hybrid's containment cell.
Your ally is being attacked.
So
Our allies are
I'm
getting into trouble
actually
again.
going to go ahead and build my platforms, which you get a max of
Your allies
10.
are having all the fun of it. Your army is getting hungry. Our allies look like they could use a hat. Additional supply depots required.
Is that so?
Upgrades done.
Oh.
I'll try it. Just for fun. I think I will do that.
Okay, so can I actually finish this up? Yep.
Your units are augmented.
But I'm also going to try to build additional supply depots. Mostly because of one
Mine's
particular reason.
already. Tick tock.
And I don't really care about...
Cell ruptured. Open fire on the hybrid.
Your allies are having all the fun of it. Upgrades done.
And I don't really mind losing all of this.
You can't build there.
Bringing a defensive drone online.
Nope, put that building somewhere else.
That explains a lot.
That hybrid's dead, but it almost took the Valius with it. I'll need to spend some time restoring it. Our scanners show the hybrid's making a lot of progress. So should we. The Valius took significant damage in that encounter. I'm gonna need more parts.
in the rear with
Perfect.
the gear. You're the boss.
And why I say mostly perfect is because of Vetimer. Now... Oh,
We're about to have company. Enemy forces are gunning for us.
Ghost reporting.
Amuse me.
and
We've
build.
passed the halfway point. The Valius is coming together.
Your ally is being attacked.
I'll try anything.
SCV ready.
I have the enemy's attention.
And oh dear gosh.
Agreed. Done. Oh yeah, baby.
My reports indicate a second train is coming.
The Dominion fleet can disembark anytime.
Launch an assault on the train. We're only a handful of parts away from rolling out.
How interesting. I can commit to that. Almost there. I'll try anything.
Ghost reporting.
Just for fun.
So I actually need to build another one.
Big job, huh?
Well, it's because of the fact that my one just died off on me. And it's not building.
Oh my. I hear you needed a mercenary, eh?
Okay,
I can
good.
order a precision strike now. Now's the time, fighters.
I like the sound of that.
And this is what the bombers
Attack
mostly
this
do.
train is slipping away. We're getting down to the wire. Make every minute count.
Are you always this convincing? I hear you needed a mercenary. That's interesting.
Hostile forces sighted. Be on alert.
Add-on is done. Doesn't that look fancy?
Great, the waiting orders.
Our allies look like they could use a hand.
The Grim Reaper has arrived.
And got it.
If only all the treasonous scum could meet their fate like that. We are on the verge of defeat. Everyone, hurry!
There we
You
go.
are efficient, aren't you? We're set for parts now. Evaluating pre-launch diagnostics. This will only take a bit.
Add-on is done. Doesn't that look fancy?
So I got all my galleons. I just need a.
Let's cause some chaos with these mines, huh?
SCV ready.
Our allies are getting into trouble again.
I can commit to that.
The Grim Reaper has arrived.
Almost there.
The Grim Reaper has arrived.
Almost
The Grim
And this is why also Reapers are extremely good. They're able to have a
Our allies
good
look like they
chunk
could
of
use
their
a hand.
stuff.
Gas is really useful. So why don't you're engaging the opponent?
The Grim Reaper has arrived.
I want to also make sure I clear this out, just mostly because of the
You
fact that
just upgraded your
my
unit.
ally
This is
may
General
not
Davis
be
reporting in.
having the best
The
forces,
Valiant
so
is en route
since I'm
to
able
its
to
target.
rebuild mine pretty quickly with in and out of battle, I want to make sure that I help out my ally in two different ways. Okay, there we go. So we got this whole entire area cleared. Go. Now I want you to build this.
Upgrade's done.
We've got an enemy attack en route to our base.
Containment cell down. Focus on the hybrid.
Oh dear gosh.
Don't just stand there. Shoot back. You flat broke, mate. Get some more minerals. You want more stuff? build more depots. Your supply box. Our allies' base is being remodeled by the enemy. Upgrade complete.
Our victory came at a price, Commanders. The Valius is going to need more work.
Go ahead.
Well, anyway,
Your dime.
I shouldn't be needing too many more
You're
supply
flat broke,
depots.
mate. Get some more minerals. Your allies are having all the fun.
I'm afraid the Valius requires additional parts after that fight.
Listen to me.
My bombers are awaiting commands.
At this point, I don't really care about where my funding's going. I care about where mostly I'm going to get my funding from. So at this point, I'm going to stop spawning my lower tier units for a little bit, because I have a whole bunch of them.
Upgrade's done.
I mostly want to get the gas on here as well, because the Vetimer, they're going to help me out a lot.
Your ally is being attacked.
There we go.
Upgrade's
And
done.
there we go. Okay, so I'm actually going to go ahead and hunt out for some additional supplies for me
The
units.
hybrid's power is growing. We have to go faster.
Sounds like a deal. So,
I can come
we still got plenty of time. I mean, right this second, I'm mostly trying to kill off some of my units because of the Vetimer. I have better units I could grab.
SCV ready.
I'll try it.
So this should be perfectly fine.
SCV ready.
The Valius is halfway online. Keep it up.
Alright.
It's the
And
fight you've all been
another
waiting
reason why I
for.
mostly don't really care about my Reapers is because of the Fedmar. Reapers are good and all, it just, I prefer having some more supply so I can spawn in my actual battle cruisers.
Enemy combatants in motion. They're headed our way.
Don't just stand there.
like they
Shoot
could
back.
use a hat.
The
And
other
I
guy
would
is
deploy
attacking you.
my stuff more often if it wasn't for the Vatimer. I don't have enough supply to do too much anything.
I have the enemy's attention.
You're engaging the opponent.
Big job, huh?
I like the sound of that.
SCV ready.
I think it might be time for them to fly.
Certainly. SCV ready. Let's do this.
Alright. Oh, and I'm missing some crates. That explains the big reason. So all units fall back.
Certainly. SCV ready.
The Valius is almost ready now. Just a few more parts.
There we go.
SCV ready.
And mostly why I do have a battle cruiser is because of Fedmar. They are good.
Mobius's victory is imminent. Move, move, move!
How many more parts do we need? We don't need that much.
How suggestive.
I'm actually going to go ahead and actually no, I'm going to save that
Almost there.
for when I do have to pretty much use it. So
Your units are augmented.
Let's cause some chaos with these mines, huh?
send that in.
Our allies are getting into trouble again.
And what I absolutely
allies
do
are having all the fun
need to
over
do is one, spend my mines. That's like the biggest thing. And two, I need to actually repair stuff. So
Construction material needs have been met. Your
Good.
cooperation is
all right.
appreciated.
I'm actually going
Combat
to park my
systems are
units
up
over
and
here
running. Safety
real
test
quick.
still pending, so be patient.
So take all these units and start repairs.
We've got an enemy attack en route to our base.
SCV ready.
So to send down another battle cruiser. My supply is at max.
Like so.
You can't build any more units. That's it. You're maxed out.
My units are prepared for war. Ish. They still need a couple of upgrades. But these actually are prepared.
Hybrid cell identified. The Balius is headed to it.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say screw it.
I'll try anyway.
Mostly because of Vladimir, my units are huge. So I'm just going to send in my units more of covering fire, and that's mostly it. I'm able to get more units off as well. Plus, more units I kill, the more battle cruisers I can have. And this is actually pretty good for what it is. And I'm going to try to clear up as much as possible. So, yeah. Prepare to jump.
Our allies are getting
Haha.
into trouble again.
So, the general made it. Luckily enough, after the big fight. So,
Let's bring gasket to the fun
fun
zone.
stuff,
Go
yeah.
get more of it.
I've cracked the containment cell. Hybrid target acquired.
Dear gosh.
You just upgraded your units.
I'm just going to go ahead and launch my army.
No time for romance, husband. Enemies are on the way.
And at this point, there we go.
We're rid of that alien filth. My commendation, soldiers. I'll send word of your deeds back to the Dominion.
This is actually the first time I completed the bonus objective. Mostly because of the biggest thing is a lot of bonus objectives, like for a lot of games I played, the bonus objective either comes and goes, but it's just you have a beginning of time a little bit. But the one thing is you don't gain this chance on this map. The closest thing you're going to be able to get is if you have a quick unit you can grab, go. For example, Dahaka. He could be quick and over there. It's just there's not a lot of heroes that would really work that well. I mean, the only reason why we mostly won is because of Fatimar. I sent in my galleons in. Plus, I knew what I needed to do. But I do have to say, for a lot of the upgrades, the one upgrade I am not really surprised at is mostly the level 10 ability, Space Station Relocation. It's mostly Mirahan decided to be a little nuts. And what I mean by that is she literally teleports the station right onto the battlefield and blows up. That's useful and all, but that seems a little excessive, doesn't it? But still. So mostly the upgrade I'm trying to get to is Dominion's plot. Starport upgrade cache. allowing race to have increased attack speed by 10 with each attack up to a max of 50. Vikings assault mode pierces and it reduces the transformation by 75. His and her supply depots are upgraded with Dominion technology, increasing their supply by 100%. Hellion and Hellbat upgrades allows the Hellion to use tar bombs that deals 20 damage and causes nearby enemies having their movement speed reduced. Enable Hellbat's attack to cause enemies to burn. That is a humongous question. Endurance training. Horner's units regen health while out of combat. That's extremely useful because the fact of the matter, his cheapest unit is this. His most expensive unit is the battlecruiser. It's extremely hard with the high cash that Horner has to supply themselves. This kind of helps you out in the late game. I've seen people use it several times. This is really good for when you have to stop and repair. Plus, it saves you money to get more of Horner's units or get a whole bunch of Han units. Advanced weapon systems allows call in the fleet's barrage enemy units with laser batteries and fires pneumatic cannons at their highest health target. Fusion core upgrade. Battlecruiser weapon systems are upgraded to powerful plasma cannons. Strike fighter platform strikes ignite the target area with napalm. Have a blast. Star Station relocation will detonate a nuke device upon its detonation. And send your other. Allows Horner units to gain more health, which is extremely useful, but allows also Mira's units to actually have increased attack speed. I will definitely say it's useful to get these guys working together because their final level is really, really good. But I do have to say, this is extremely hard to play because you have to be lucky about which maps you go for. For example, on this one, this is about moving trains and all that kind of stuff. It's useful to have them here. Here, they're useful because of the fact of the matter, they have a good movement. Here, they are terrible. Mostly because of the fact of the matter, their defenses are either mines, which don't do that well, or missile turrets. That's your only defense. You have to sit back a base and spawn those units. And if you get away and use all your units away from that point, you are in deep trouble. They're useful on this map. They're useful on this map, but they have to move around a lot, which Horner units actually help. Here, they are extremely useful because they don't require long distances to get good software. And with all of it either coming from down the sky or you build a galleon to build them from, they are extremely useful. Malware. This one I'm questioning on because the objective moves around a lot, but the last couple of times I played with them, they haven't done that good. Here, they're okay. Mostly because of the fact of the matter, the units will have multiple ways to get into your base. We done this one, they're extremely good. Here, they're extremely good. Here, even if you get Assault Galleon, it actually counts. So it's pretty good. A lot of maps are very good. Here would be terrible because they don't have any siege units. And this map requires a good selection of defensive structures. You only have mines, and even if you spend like every moment, every time when they come up, put it down, they don't hold back the infested. They actually launch all at once. Here they do okay. I will definitely say that. I've actually played on this map a little bit. They have a difficult time in only one area, which is the minerals you have to collect. That's more expensive with the units you want to get. And here, they're excellent. Mostly because of that matter, you could spawn a whole bunch of stuff. But I definitely do have to say, Widow Mines do count as a defensive structure, only in one area. They are able to blow up at least a good chunk of units. The only problem is, they're not that good. They have a long recoil time. But with this ability, with one, they actually blow themselves up. And the one part that I'm surprised of is they will actually unburrow themselves, run, explode, or either they stay in the ground and blow missiles all over the place. They are suicide bombers, pretty much. They are able to unload their whole entire payload to destroy anyone that destroys them. Platforms, the strike platforms, just like quick tips, that platform will not really help you out in the beginning. They require a good chunk of resources to do. You have a max of 10 of these. They are extremely good. They have a low cooldown. Like, you could do all of them in about 5 seconds later. They're almost up again. They are very good to get in the mid-game. Or if you get lucky and get a whole bunch of resources, you can get them in the early game. The one thing that they do have a problem with is Hellbats. They are tanks, but the problem is they are not that good on a lot of maps, and I've tried having nothing but them. They keep dying on me. When the Reapers, on the other hand, when they survive better, which is quite weird. I showed these off. These I don't bother getting much of because the fact of the matter, you have to transform them, and really there's already good enough chunk of ground units. Anti-air is what I really need, and battle cruisers does it a bit better than pretty much the Vikings. And this is just for detection, and that's it. I don't mostly use it for anything else. As you can see, I didn't get a lot of missile turrets, mostly because of one particular reason. Those mines are able to attack the ground and sky. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, please do remember that like button, subscribe button, see more content. Anywho guys, see you guys in the next video. Adios amigos.